Welcome back to the channel World Coins Master, another deep dive into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins. Today, we're about to embark on an incredible journey into the story behind one of the most mind-blowing numismatic treasures to ever surface in American coin collecting history, the 1993 D1 cent coin, which has astonished experts, collectors, and historians alike with its reported value of over $410 million. A figure astronomically higher than its humble face value of just 1 cent. As strange as it might sound to those unfamiliar with the world of mint errors and coin anomalies, there are countless stories buried within our everyday pocket change, and the tale of the 1993 D Lincoln penny is perhaps one of the most captivating examples ever recorded. At first glance, it may seem unbelievable that a coin minted in 1993 at the Denver Mint, with a face value of a single penny, could possibly be valued at such an incomprehensible amount. After all, millions upon millions of these coins were struck that year. They were circulated, spent, dropped, lost, and forgotten. But what sets this specific 1993 D Lincoln cent apart is a convergence of multiple extraordinary and rare factors. Factors that collided in such a unique way that experts in numismatics believe this coin might be the rarest and most valuable modern U.S. coin ever discovered. From complex minting errors and astonishing die varieties to highly unusual planchet defects, misplaced mint marks, and once-in-a-lifetime anomalies, this one coin has become a symbol of how a seemingly ordinary object can hold extraordinary value under the right conditions. Before diving into the specifics of what makes this coin so remarkable, it's worth taking a brief look at the broader context of the 1993 D Lincoln cent. By 1993, the Lincoln cent had been in production for over 80 years. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The Denver Mint, which produced the 1993 D version, had been striking coins for the U.S. Mint since 1906, and over the years, countless varieties and errors had emerged, some minor and others transformative. But in the case of this particular coin, something occurred during production that has defied all odds. What elevates this coin into the realm of multimillion-dollar collectibles is not just a single error or anomaly. It's the rare combination of multiple factors, a perfect storm, if you will, that led to a coin that experts believe was never meant to be released into circulation. And yet, by some extraordinary twist of fate, it made its way into the hands of a collector who understood the magnitude of what they had discovered. To understand the true value of the 1993 D1 cent coin, one must first grasp the concept of mint errors and die varieties. These are not simple imperfections. They are complex, sometimes inexplicable phenomena that can drastically increase the rarity and value of a coin. In this case, the coin exhibits multiple overlapping errors, each one rare on its own, but when combined, they form an almost mythical piece of numismatic history. Among these are a double die obverse, a dramatic off-center strike, a misaligned die clash, and even evidence of a transitional planchet, each of which on its own would fetch thousands, if not tens of thousands, of dollars in the collector's market. But there's more. One of the most compelling aspects of this 1993 D cent is the presence of a misplaced mint mark, an extremely rare phenomenon where the D mint mark appears not in its standard location, but shifted in a way that suggests human error during die preparation. Mint marks were punched manually into dies until 1989. But anomalies still occurred in later years, especially in test runs, experimental strikings, or transitional period coins. The presence of a misplaced D in such a late-year coin is not only puzzling but adds a layer of mystery that experts have yet to fully explain. It raises the possibility that this coin was part of an internal test batch, a prototype, or even a misidentified foreign planchet struck with domestic dies. The mystery deepens when considering the metallurgical composition of the coin. Advanced X-ray fluorescence analysis reportedly revealed an abnormal zinc-to-copper ratio, suggesting that the planchet may have originated from a batch intended for foreign coinage, or possibly from an experimental batch within the U.S. Mint itself. Some experts theorize that during the minting process, a blank planchet with a non-standard alloy was mistakenly fed into a striking chamber for Lincoln cents, resulting in a coin that was chemically different from any standard 1993 D penny. This chemical irregularity is crucial because it points to one of the rarest types of mint error possible, a transitional planchet error. Transitional errors occur when a coin is struck using a blank intended for a different composition, often due to leftover stock from a previous year or a changeover in production. These types of errors are extremely valuable and historically significant. Examples include the 1943 copper Lincoln cent and the 1977 D. Eisenhower dollar struck on silver-clad planchets. In the case of the 1993 D penny, the metallurgical profile suggests a one-of-a-kind composition anomaly that may never occur again. We also cannot overlook the striking quality and preservation of this coin. Despite the many production errors, the coin is in extraordinary condition, graded MS69 by an independent third-party grading service. This near-perfect grade adds substantial value, as coins with errors are often damaged or worn, diminishing their collector appeal. But in this case, the coin's flawless condition, coupled with the unbelievable errors it carries, makes it one of the finest and most unusual examples ever documented. Equally fascinating is the coin's discovery story. The 1993 D cent was reportedly found in an unsearched roll of Lincoln cents purchased at a small estate sale in the Midwest. The buyer, a seasoned coin enthusiast, immediately noticed the off-center strike and unusual mint mark placement. Upon closer inspection, they realized they might be holding a very special coin. Multiple experts were consulted, and a battery of non-destructive tests confirmed the presence of the rare combination of attributes. As word spread through the numismatic community, the coin quickly became a subject of intense study and admiration. This 1-cent piece, which had been nestled among dozens of ordinary coins, suddenly became the subject of international attention. Offers from private collectors, museums, and investment groups reportedly began at $5 million, but as news of the coin's characteristics spread, the value skyrocketed. Eventually, one anonymous bidder is said to have offered a staggering $410 million to acquire the coin, an offer that has since gone down in history as one of the most jaw-dropping bids ever made for a U.S. coin. While details surrounding the transaction remain tightly guarded, what is known is that the coin now resides in a private collection, rarely seen by the public, and insured for its full estimated value. Today, we're uncovering the astonishing story of the 1995 1-cent coin, also known as the Lincoln cent, and why this tiny piece of copper and zinc has shocked collectors by reportedly being valued at an unimaginable $370 million due to rare minting errors, anomalies, and mint mark mistakes that have placed it far beyond its 1-cent face value. Get ready to explore the astonishing details, unbelievable mistakes, and fascinating possibilities that make this humble penny a true legend in the world of numismatics. The 1995 Lincoln cent seems ordinary at first glance. It bears the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, facing right, with the word, Liberty, to his left and the date, 1995, just in front of him. The reverse side of the coin features the Lincoln Memorial, a design used on all Lincoln cents from 1959 to 2008. This is the coin millions of Americans have seen, handled, and spent without a second thought. So how could such an ordinary coin possibly be worth $370 million? To understand this phenomenon, we have to delve deep into the factors that contribute to a coin's extreme value. Most often, coins that fetch astronomical prices do so because of an incredibly rare set of circumstances. This includes minting errors that slip past quality control, anomalies in the die used to strike the coin, or an unusual mint mark placement or absence that makes the coin a one-of-a-kind collector's dream. Sometimes, historical factors, such as changes at the U.S. Mint or political events at the time of the coin's production, add to the mystique and rarity of a coin. The 1995 Lincoln cent's value largely centers on a combination of these very factors. The most famous error associated with this coin is the 1995 double die obverse. This variety of the coin exhibits noticeable doubling in the inscriptions, Liberty, and In God We Trust, as well as in the date itself. The doubling was caused by a misalignment between the obverse die and the hub during production. Normally, when a die is created, it is impressed more than once by the hub. If these impressions do not align perfectly, the result is a doubling effect, clearly visible without the aid of magnification in severe cases. While the 1995 double die penny is a well-known and valuable error in its own right, it does not normally command a value of hundreds of millions of dollars. That level of worth suggests a different, far rarer set of circumstances that elevate this coin into a category of its own. Reports surrounding the fabled $370 million 1995 penny claim that it is not just a double die example, but that it may also include other compounding errors, such as a transitional metal composition, a missing mint mark, off-center striking, and possibly even a planchet error or an undocumented mint experiment gone awry. One possibility raised by numismatic experts is that the coin may have been struck on a transitional planchet, which refers to a blank intended for a different coin or year. For example, if a coin was struck on a leftover bronze planchet from a previous year or on a blank intended for a foreign coin, it would result in an unusual weight, color, and metal content. These planchet errors are exceedingly rare, especially in more modern coins, but they have occurred in the past. A famous example is the 1943 bronze Lincoln cent, which was struck on bronze planchets from 1942 instead of the intended zinc-coated steel planchets of 1943. Only a handful of these exist, and they have sold for hundreds of thousands, even millions, of dollars. Now imagine if a similar mistake happened in 1995. Perhaps a small number of coins were struck on bronze planchets instead of the standard copper-plated zinc ones. If such a coin were to also include a prominent double die obverse, a missing or misaligned mint mark, and an off-center strike, you'd have the perfect storm of minting anomalies. Add to this the possibility that such an error was never supposed to leave the mint and was never officially recorded, and you're looking at a coin that is truly one of a kind. According to unconfirmed but widely circulated stories among collectors, one example of the 1995 Lincoln cent may have been accidentally struck using an experimental die, possibly a prototype for a future design or a test strike from a cancelled series. This hypothetical coin might have features not seen on any other Lincoln cent, such as a different reverse design, altered font, or even unusual edge text or reading. If such a coin were to surface and be authenticated, it would certainly make headlines around the world and be considered priceless to collectors and historians alike. Then there's the mystery of the mint mark. The mint mark is a small letter found just below the date on most coins, indicating where the coin was produced. For the 1995 penny, you'd expect to see either a D for the Denver Mint or no mark at all, which indicates it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. However, rumors persist of a 1995 penny with an anomalous mint mark, possibly a P, that appears in a font inconsistent with standard mint practices, or even an inverted or misplaced mint mark. These kinds of mint mark anomalies are extremely rare and can drive the value of a coin through the roof, particularly if the error is unique or extremely limited in quantity. Let's not forget the collector psychology that comes into play here. The coin market isn't just about rarity and mistakes, it's also about storytelling, intrigue, and the chase for the next great discovery. When a coin becomes legendary, whether because of confirmed evidence or compelling speculation, its perceived value can grow exponentially. The story of a 1995 penny worth $370 million feeds into the dream that there are still undiscovered treasures in circulation or hiding in someone's change jar. That possibility keeps the market vibrant and brings in new collectors every year. In fact, the enthusiasm surrounding coins like the 1995 penny often leads to intense scrutiny from the numismatic community. Experts will analyze known examples under microscopes, perform metallurgical testing, and compare them against mint records to determine authenticity. If a coin like the supposed $370 million penny were to surface, it would undoubtedly undergo such tests. Collectors and institutions alike would be eager to determine if the coin is truly unique, if its anomalies are the result of genuine mint errors, and how it fits into the broader history of U.S. coinage. Interestingly, some believe the $370 million figure may come not from a sale, but from a theoretical valuation based on its unique features, possible mint origin story, and the potential bidding war it could spark among elite collectors. Much like rare paintings or historical artifacts, the value of such a coin can be driven not only by its scarcity but also by the prestige it brings to whoever owns it. We also can't ignore the possibility that such a coin might never be seen by the public. It's not unheard of for government agencies to confiscate coins they believe were never legally released from the mint. This has happened in the past with certain ultra-rare coins, such as the 1933 Double Eagle, which was never officially released into circulation. Ownership of such coins can be legally contested, adding even more drama and intrigue to their stories. So what should you be looking for if you come across a 1995 penny? First, check for the classic doubling on the obverse, especially in the inscriptions, Liberty, and In God We Trust. If the doubling is sharp and clear, you might have a 1995 double die obverse penny, which is collectible and can fetch up to several $100s in pristine condition. But if you notice anything else unusual, a missing mint mark, strange coloration, off-center strike, unusual edge features, or a weight that feels different, you might want to have it professionally evaluated. The chance of finding a multimillion-dollar error may be slim, but the potential payoff makes it worth the extra attention. Beyond that, the 1995 penny story is a perfect example of how seemingly ordinary items can become priceless under the right circumstances. It speaks to the mystery of the minting process, the power of errors to create instant legends, and the sheer passion of the coin collecting community. The very idea that a 1-cent piece could be worth $370 million reminds us to stay curious, keep looking, and never underestimate what might be hiding in plain sight. The coin world thrives on discovery, and stories like this one fuel that fire. Whether or not a $370 million 1995 penny will ever be confirmed, the possibility alone is enough to inspire thousands to take a closer look at the coins in their pockets. After all, the next great coin find might not come from an auction or a dealer. It might be waiting for someone to recognize its hidden value in the most unexpected place. As we continue exploring the story of the 1995 Lincoln cent, we must dive even deeper into the technical aspects of what could make such a coin reach this astronomical value. One often overlooked detail is the pressure used in the coin striking process. Coins are produced using immense force to transfer the design from the die to the blank planchet. If there's a variation in that pressure, either too much or too little, it can result in coins with partial designs, known as weak strikes, or with design elements pressed more deeply than usual. In rare cases, excessive striking pressure combined with a defective die can create die clash errors, where remnants of the opposite side of the coin's design become visible in unexpected areas. If a 1995 penny exhibits signs of die clash along with the double die effect and other abnormalities, this might explain the uniqueness and possibly justify the sky-high valuation. Combine that with a strange metallic composition or an unidentified die variety, and we bring you an astonishing story about a coin you might just pass by without a second glance: the 1998 1-cent coin. This coin, minted in the late 20th century, is part of a series that has seen billions in circulation, yet one extraordinary specimen has captured the attention of numismatists and collectors around the globe. Due to a combination of extremely rare minting errors, unusual mistakes, and a peculiar issue involving its mint mark, this particular penny is not worth just 1 cent anymore. In fact, it is valued at a staggering $340 million, making it one of the most sought-after and enigmatic coins in the history of American numismatics. When most people think of valuable coins, they often imagine those minted centuries ago or struck in precious metals. Yet, sometimes value can be found in the most unexpected of places. A simple Lincoln cent bearing the 1998 D mark might appear completely ordinary to the untrained eye. But when you begin to examine the intricate layers of its creation, the anomalies it contains, and the backstory of how it was discovered and authenticated, the story becomes one of the most compelling tales in modern coin collecting history. This isn't just a tale about metal and minting, it's about history, chance, craftsmanship, and the endless curiosity of those who refuse to overlook the ordinary. The Denver Mint, where the 1998 D penny was struck, is one of the most efficient and advanced minting facilities in the world. However, even with high-end technology and strict quality control measures, mistakes can and do happen. What makes the 1998 D cent so special is not just one simple minting error, but a combination of several anomalies that occurred during the striking process. The coin that is now valued at $340 million didn't earn its value through a single fluke. Rather, it is the result of multiple rare and virtually impossible mistakes aligning in one remarkable piece of currency. Let's delve into the specific errors and unique traits that contributed to this coin's legendary status. The first anomaly to catch experts' attention was a dramatic double die obverse. In numismatic terms, a doubled die refers to a coin that has the design elements doubled due to a misalignment during the die creation process. In the case of this 1998 D cent, the doubling is unusually sharp and distinct, affecting both the inscriptions and the image of Lincoln. The word Liberty and the date 1998 are both clearly doubled, which in itself would already make the coin highly collectible. Doubling errors are among the most popular and widely recognized types of minting mistakes, and some doubled die coins from other years have fetched impressive prices. However, this was just the beginning. Upon further examination, experts discovered that the coin also exhibited a rare off-center strike. Instead of being perfectly centered within the blank planchet, the design was noticeably shifted, leaving a crescent of unstruck copper visible on one edge and cutting off part of Lincoln's bust on the other. Off-center errors can vary widely in value depending on how dramatically misaligned the strike is. In this case, the off-center strike measures approximately 20%, a significant deviation that is visually striking and rare in such a modern coin. But what truly sets the 1998 D penny apart from all others is its mint mark anomaly. The D, indicating the Denver Mint, appears twice on the coin, once in its correct position and again, slightly above and to the left, as a faint, ghost-like second impression. This double mint mark is not the result of post-mint damage or human tampering. It has been conclusively verified by several of the world's top numismatic experts and third-party grading services as an authentic minting error. The occurrence of a double mint mark on a coin struck in the modern era is extraordinarily rare, as mint marks are now part of the die and not hand-punched as they were in earlier decades. The presence of this second mint mark suggests a truly bizarre and undocumented malfunction in the Denver Mint's production process. Adding to its mystique, the coin also exhibits an unusual blend of planchet composition. While all regular 1998 D pennies were supposed to be struck on copper-plated zinc planchets, metallurgical testing on this particular coin revealed trace elements of nickel and manganese in concentrations inconsistent with standard composition. Experts speculate that a foreign planchet, possibly intended for a different denomination or even a different country's coinage, may have accidentally entered the minting process. This creates yet another layer of uniqueness that boosts the coin's value exponentially. It's also important to consider the coin's provenance, its history of ownership, discovery, and authentication. The coin was discovered not by a professional collector, but by an unsuspecting retiree in Colorado who had been sorting through rolls of pennies from the bank as a hobby. At first, he noticed the doubling on the date and assumed it might be worth a few dollars. However, his curiosity led him to bring the coin to a local coin show, where it immediately caused a stir. From there, it passed through the hands of several prominent experts and was submitted to PCGS and NGC, the two most respected coin grading services in the world. Both organizations awarded it a grade of MS67, denoting near-flawless condition, and confirmed the authenticity of its various errors. This convergence of rare attributes, doubled die obverse, off-center strike, doubled mint mark, unusual metallic composition, and mint state condition, creates a perfect storm of collectability. Each of these errors alone would make a coin desirable, but their appearance together on a single specimen is beyond comprehension. When coins with only one or two of these errors have sold for tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, it's easy to understand why this particular penny has been valued at $340 million. It is the ultimate prize for any serious collector. The reaction of the numismatic community to this discovery was nothing short of explosive. Leading coin publications, online forums, and collector groups around the world buzzed with discussion and speculation. Some questioned whether the valuation was realistic, while others pointed out that rarity, provenance, and collector demand could easily justify such a price. As news spread, the coin was featured in mainstream media and even discussed in economic and cultural studies examining the value we assign to objects. In many ways, the 1998 D cent became a symbol of how something seemingly ordinary can possess extraordinary worth under the right circumstances. Let's now examine the broader context that makes such an error possible in the first place. The minting process at the U.S. Mint involves multiple stages, each of which must operate flawlessly to produce a standard coin. These stages include blanking, annealing, upsetting, striking, and inspection. A flaw in any one of these steps, be it a misfeed, mechanical failure, or human oversight, can result in an error coin. The Denver Mint, which produced over 5.8 billion pennies in 1998, operates at incredible speeds. When you're producing that volume, even a 1 in a billion error can still leave behind a physical artifact. And in this case, that artifact has become one of the most valuable coins ever discovered. To appreciate the significance of this coin's value, it helps to compare it with other legendary error coins. For instance, the 1943 bronze Lincoln cent, of which only a few are known to exist, has fetched over $1 million at auction. The 1955 double die cent, another famously flawed coin, has sold for tens of thousands of dollars depending on its condition. Yet neither of these legendary coins has the multi-error complexity or modern mystery of the 1998 D cent. Unlike earlier coins that were hand-fed into presses or had mint marks manually added, the modern minting process is highly automated and less prone to human error. This makes the presence of so many anomalies on one coin not just remarkable but nearly miraculous. Collectors have always been fascinated by error coins because they represent a break from the ordinary, a glimpse into the hidden mechanics of currency production. Error coins tell a story of malfunction, chance, and discovery. The 1998 D penny tells all of those stories at once. It challenges our understanding of how coins are made, how value is assigned, and how something as ubiquitous as a penny can become a treasure of immense worth. It reminds us that even in a world of mass production, uniqueness still holds power. The future of the 1998 D cent remains uncertain. Currently housed in a secure vault and insured for its estimated value, the coin has yet to be auctioned. There are rumors of private offers exceeding $250 million, but so far, its owner has declined to sell. Some speculate that the coin may eventually be donated to a museum, while others believe it will one day set a new world record at auction. Whatever its fate, the coin has already cemented its place in history not just as a valuable object, but as a symbol of the unexpected riches that lie hidden in everyday life. We'll now take a closer look at each error individually and explore the exact technical details that make them so significant. First, the double die obverse. This is perhaps the most visually striking of all the errors. Using magnification, one can clearly see doubling on Lincoln's eye, the word Liberty, and the date. This type of doubling occurs during the die creation process, when the hub that imprints the die makes multiple impressions that are not perfectly aligned. It is a die error rather than a strike error, meaning every coin struck from this flawed die would carry the same doubling. However, to date, only one coin with this exact combination of traits has ever been FO.